everybody. Welcome to Seriously Hilarious. Hope you all had a great start to the new year. Today's episode is going to be all about throwing it back. So, I am your host.
And I'm Shonda.
So, welcome. I hope you enjoy this episode. So, we have been talking. It's been a while since we posted. And we just thought we would take it back a little bit, like throw it way back to our younger years, to the good old 80s, good old 90s, back when you go outside with no parental control. Because I was in the streets. I was in the streets to midnight, got picked up at curfew. I was living my best life. It was a time was had. A time was had.
A time was
We
had.
we played all the games. Red Rover. Did you ever play Red Rover, Shonda?
No.
Red Rover sent Shonda right over.
N
Oh my God. Anyways, it was
How
a
it
fun game.
go? Tell us. How it go?
So, it's like a line on this side and then a line on this side, like it's two lines of people, and then you be
Mhm.
like, Red Rover, seeing who Shonda right over. And then you will run over. And then if you can break through the other side, then you take somebody with you. If you can't, then you join that side. And whoever end up with the most people on their side won.
Oh, so I'm trying to break the line?
But everybody holding real tight. But yeah, you
Oh,
trying to break through.
that sound kinda dangerous and something I would
All
not.
the games back then was dangerous. Look, we used to play tag all over the neighborhood. It wasn't just in the backyard. We'd be running
And
two,
that was
three,
right.
4 blocks. Yeah, yeah. We was playing tag. I grew up in the hood, so it was neighborhood tag. It wasn't just confined to a backyard.
Neighborhood tag. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
all
that
over.
sounds fine. I was in the burbs for a long
Yeah,
time. Mhm.
yeah. I
Grew up
grew
in
up
the
in the
burbs.
city, so it was
Mhm. We're
it was
surrounded by old people, so we ain't had no
yeah. I
kids.
was surrounded by young people.
Lucky.
I mean, they were young. I mean, they were older than me. A lot of our friends, actually, when I was like 7, 8, were like 18. We used to hang out with 18-year-olds. 18-year-old
Okay.
actually when I was 3, our 18-year-old neighbor let us ride their 10-speed. That's how I learned how to ride a bike. My first bike that I rode was a 10-speed bike.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Well, I may have had a tricycle around that time. I ain't gonna say that that's the first
Mhm.
bike, but that was the first big bike that I rode. It was a
Mm.
10-speed bike. I couldn't even sit on it. I could only stand up, and I rode it
Was
in a
it
circle around the backyard.
was it a 10 speed when you could, like, push the pedal back and it'll stop? Or
Probably.
you had to go
I
like
didn't
this?
do that though, because I could barely. I think no, I think it had the handbrake thing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I could barely even reach, girl. But I rode it. We rode it in a
Mhm.
circle in the backyard. But that was hood living, girl. It was hood living. We used to be back there doing all kind of stuff.
Now, I will tell you that I had a bike. I'm tell you the story. Okay, so I think the first bike that I had, you would push the pedal back, in
Mm.
order to stop. That's where the brake was. So I got a new bike, and at the time I'm living in Germany, right? And it was this big old hill. Well, it was big to me because I was like 7. Right, and I'm riding down this hill my mama told me not to ride down, right? I didn't know that she told me not to ride down the hill because the cars coming around the corner can't see you. So that's what happened. I'm riding down the hill and I'm going fast and I'm having a great time, me and my friend Peanut, right? And the car comes around the corner, around the apartment building, right? And so I'm coming down the hill and then I'm like, ooh, and there's a car right there. And girl, I'm just pushing back. I'm just pushing back on the little thing, trying to go. Girl, I woke up in the bed on punishment with my side skidded up because apparently I was supposed to press this. The handlebars was how you press back, because this bike had not a unicorn, the ram. You remember how I used
I
the
know
little
what you're talking
curve?
about.
Yeah,
Yeah. The old
girl.
fashioned. Yeah. That's hilarious. She said I woke up in the bed.
On punishment. I was on punishment too, girl.
That's
And
hilarious.
I was like, oh, had rug burn.
Well, I
So
mean, when I was younger, about 8, I had an accident in a bike that wasn't even my fault. I'm right behind my brother. We ride. We gone. We like boom, boom, boom. I'm 18 now. We just gone. We might have been 7 and 8, something like that. But we going, we going, we going. Next thing I know, I'm like, don't stop. Don't stop. Because I knew I was going so fast. He stopped. I crashed right
Right in
into
front
the
of you?
I crashed into the back of his bike. Tell me why I was all broke up and hurt and he wasn't.
Oh.
He wasn't hurt at all. I was like, "Really?" I had was skinned everything, my knees, my
Dang.
elbow, and back then, people was evil. My sister sitting here pouring raw alcohol on open
Oh,
wounds. Girl, I
no.
was crying and screaming. I was like, the audacity." But that's why, we was the generation of tough kids, cause it wasn't
Mhm.
no, "Ooh, let me kiss your boo-boo." It was, "Nah, let me throw this hot burning lava oil all over your
Hot Whoop.
open sores." Cause that's what it felt like. It felt like some
Yeah.
lava oil.
Mm.
And but, a time was had.
A
I used
time
to
was
have
had.
these purple and white roller derby skates that I would ride around the neighborhood, girl, just gone. Hey.
You go backwards.
But, to throw it back though, my first pair of skates was some latchkey skates. Did you ever have those? The skates that go over your shoe and you, like, turn a
Oh,
little key at the bottom to
yeah.
lock it? Girl, I used to be in the house. And
Yeah,
they
that's when you
used
could
to
walk in the skates. It was my favorite because I don't have skate.
right, right. But there was back in the '80s, there was this roller skating doll. I had the doll. It would roller skate with you. Girl, we be in the house gone. Hey, I was like 3.
Now, I had a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yes, I had a cabbage.
Mhm.
Everybody had a cabbage patch doll. As
Girl, I
poor as
had
we
a lot
was,
of 'em.
I had at least one.
I used to be so jealous of her dimples. Remember they
Really?
had dimples? I always wanted dimples. Dimples was popular back then. You be like,
You
"Oh,
was
I got me a little boyfriend, he got dimples."
of a but you said you was jealous of the cabbage patch doll's dimple.
Yeah, because
That
dimples
was a
was
baby.
people was attracted to dimples. And
But
my
that was
Cabbage
a
Patch
baby.
had dimples, but I didn't have dimples. My cousin had dimples, and he used to get they be like, "Oh, he's so cute with his little dimples."
But Shonda, that was a baby girl. That was
What?
a baby, like a ooh.
So, she
That
had
baby
dimples,
wasn't
and I
gonna
did
grow
it.
up.
I don't see the problem here.
Okay.
Yeah, girl, I was scared of them.
Really? I used
Yeah,
to love the
I
Garbage
was a
Pail
little
Kids.
girl in the '80s, and that I should watch it now just so I can overcome that fear.
Girl, the Garbage Pail Kids was the ish. I had all of those stickers all over the dang on
You
refrigerator.
know, the snot, and he's put snot on stuff, like, ugh.
We used to love it. It was because it was gross, I think. We was just like,
Yeah.
"Yay!" And we loved
Yeah.
it. We loved the
Yeah.
Garbage Pail Kids. It was great. When I think about the most fun I had back when I was young, like 3, 4, 5, it was probably Saturday morning cartoons,
Mhm.
the Garbage Pail Kids, and going outside. And
At
walking to the
Sesame
candy
Street?
store. Walking to the candy store because we gotta go everywhere by ourselves. Even at 3, we would go to the candy store, go to the candy lady house, all of that with our little quarters, get us some candy. Come on.
So when I was around 7 and shoot, I was about 7, so this is like early '90s, right? I went to Ohio and I was with my why you looking at me
Yeah,
like that?
I'm just like, must be nice to be 7 in the '90s.
Yeah, I was 10 in '94, girl. But anyway, I was 7, so it was real early '90s, and I was at my grandma's house, and I'm a military brat, so I was always like it was just me and then other people kids. So I don't have those same experiences as you because you was around your family, so they would let you
I
go.
had
But
one
anyway,
brother my age, but
yeah,
go
but
ahead.
you had sisters and everything like that.
They was
Okay.
old and gone.
I was the oldest. And then it was like 5 and 10 years younger than me, so it was me. It was me, right? So
Okay.
anyway, I went up there and I'm with my cousins and stuff. And girl, my grandma let us walk down the block to the end of the street where she can't see us to the store, and she gave us like maybe 50 cents, and we came back with all types of bubble gum, candies that turned your mouth green and blue. And now the gum, it only lasts like 5 seconds. It was like what was it, double bubble? You
And
chew
that,
it,
yeah, that chew
bubble
gum,
gum.
all that gum. Yeah, it lasts about 5 seconds. That's right. Maybe a minute
Mhm.
solid, and then it wasn't no good no more.
Yep. Oh, Boston baked beans. Like we had all of that in a bag. We had a bag of candy for like 50 cents. Girl, you can't even get one of them for 50 cents now.
Yep, that was the best thing because, like I said, we would get a quarter. You get 25 pieces of candy for a quarter.
Mhm.
You done had do all
Mhm.
the stuff for 1 quarter. You know,
Them little
50 don't
fruity Tootsie Rolls,
all
but
of
they were
it.
the fruity kind.
Don't be 4, 5, 6, get $1. You getting 100 pieces of candy. Girl, that penny candy. Look, you might be like, "Oh, Imma get this one Chico stick for a nickel, and then everything else is penny candy." Right? It's like, it was
Ugh,
that's the best. You if you spend 25 cents on one thing, it was amazing. Imma tell you that, it was amazing. As I
yeah.
to say. Other
It
than that,
it had to be a pickle.
right, you might be like a pickle, but everything else, it was like, "Imma get all penny candy." It was just a time was had. Going to the store back then with $1 or $2, you was rich. You was like, "Oh, I'm rich. I can
Mhm.
get a bag of chips, a pickle, a Chico stick, a six
Girl.
lick, 50 pieces of candy, a necklace, a candy
Oh, the
necklace."
candy necklace.
Have
Some of that
neck
used to
all
be
sticky,
sticky.
and you just and you just leaving it. You know, you was living your best life. It was amazing.
But yeah, I was really surprised because that was the first time that we was just outside by ourselves, and I'm like, "We little, they don't care that we
Down
out
girl,
here," you know?
we was
So that
outside.
was great. I miss a Chico stick. I don't even know if they sell them anymore.
Girl, they probably do. They probably don't taste the same though, because they keep changing
Do
ingredients and stuff.
anything taste the same?
Girl, they don't
I
taste
hate
the
it for these kids because they don't
They
even
don't
know
know.
life.
They
'Cause
don't
we
they don't
were
really
alive before, we was alive when people were still outside doing things and having fun. It wasn't all the internet, you
Yeah, it
know?
wasn't no internet. I mean, the internet been around, but it wasn't widely available,
Mm-mm.
right? In
Right.
the 80s, it was outside. It was home phones stuck to the wall. It
Mhm.
was going to Blockbuster Video or Family
Yep.
Video. It was it was like going to the movies cost $2,
Mhm.
$2.25, $2.75 to get into the movies. It was a different time. You
Yep.
know, it was barbecuing every day in the summer because I grew up in Chicago, so in the wintertime we was in the house. But we
It was
would have
car
snowball fights.
parties.
Yeah, we would have basement parties. Like all kind of stuff happened, when before the internet took over the world.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Even just the simplest things like Saturday morning cartoons, right? We would just couldn't wait until Saturday so we could get up and watch He-Man and She-Ra and Transformers and Thundercats. I was like, "Thunder, thunder, Thundercats." That was the best part of the song,
Smurfs.
girl.
I like the Smurfs.
The Smurfs, Rainbow Bright, Care Bear.
Mhm.
What's
What's
her
that one?
name?
It was my
The
favorite.
strawberry shortcake. I used to love strawberry shortcake, girl. I had the little robe and a little
Yeah.
kerchief, nightcap, all that. Girl, I had the whole little village. The whole little village. Girl, when I was little, I didn't even know I was poor until my mama died.
Is it Snaggle Rock?
Yeah, I think it is Snaggle Rock. I think that's what it was called.
Mhm.
Yep, all of that stuff was just them cartoons was great, and as soon as them cartoons went off, you might have gotta watch a little bit of Channel 11, and then they kicked you out the house. You get They was
Out
like,
the
"Alright,
house.
you
Mhm.
ate breakfast
Y'all go
while you was
outside.
watching it, and then after that, you had to go." It's like, "Alright, don't come back in here. Don't be running in and out of my house. Don't do it." And you was gone all day, unsupervised. But what was really the killer is and I was talking to somebody about this a couple weeks ago. You literally couldn't go back into your own house, but other people's parents was so nice. Because you go home, you gotta probably stay in the house. Depending
Mm.
on how nice your parents were, they might be like, no. And you barely get lunch or a snack. Like you be
Dang.
like, I'm hungry though. It was crazy.
You better eat them
You
hot
might
fries
you might get
and
you a
drink from
little
the water
snack.
hose.
Right, right. And you be drinking from other people's water hoses. Like, I'm just gonna drink this water over here. You've been in fired at thirst trying to stay outside. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, remember when the candy lady? Because we did, because my grandma, she lived by us, but she lived in apartment complex, and it was a candy lady, and the candy lady used to freeze Kool-Aid in them
Yep,
styrofoam
make
cups,
icy cup.
and then you would, like, tear the
Yep.
styrofoam from around it and eat the ice. Or the little
Yep,
Kool-Aid with the sugar in the,
yep.
Ziploc bag. Oh,
Yeah,
I
we used
don't
to make
know.
that Kool-Aid sugar stuff. It was like your own personal Fun Dip, right? Because
Mhm.
Fun Dip was kinda pricey. We like, "Ain't nobody got no 25, 30 cent, 50 cent for Fun Dip." And you just get you a 10-cent pack Kool-Aid and put some sugar in there, and your fingers be red for 4 days. You
Yeah.
dipping it in there. Them was our drug. Them was our drug. We was drug cane stick. That Fun Dip
Yeah. Yeah.
was good. It was crazy.
Remember candy cigarettes?
Yes, yes, and I never really liked them,
I
but
never did.
I never
They
really
taste
liked
like
them, but we
chalk.
bought I had tried candy cigarettes before. I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
it was alright. I remember them Little Debbie's used to be lit though. Little Debbie's
Yeah.
used to be real good, and I used to really like those, the fudge rounds and the Star
Mhm.
Crunches. And then I had stopped eating them for a while, and then back somewhere around teenagery years, I was like, "Imma get me some because 'cause it's been a minute." And they didn't taste the same. I was like,
I
"Ooh."
think things is always better when you're a kid because you be excited. Them
I
be
guess
fresh
'cause you
taste.
never get nothing. You be like, "Ooh, look at that."
Them taste be fresh. That's just like I used to like Nutty Butter
Nutty
Balls.
Buddies.
Nutty Buddies, yes.
Yeah, Nutty Buddies.
It was like a bar. Yeah, I used to
Yeah, the
like
bars. Yeah,
those
those was
and
good. I used to take
Swiss
mine apart and then eat them stick by stick, wafer by
layer
wafer.
by layer. Mhm. See, I was one of them kids too who like everybody get the same, but I still got mine and y'all done ate all yours. I don't know why I was that way. I used to eat a
I
little,
don't do stuff. Yeah, I did most definitely eat all my stuff different. Like even a
Uh,
Reese cup, like when I would get a Reese cup, I would eat all around the edges and then eat the middle,
mhm.
where other people just be biting into it. I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
that ain't how
you
you
don't even
eat it.
savor it.
It's the
Yeah.
best if you eat the edges first, then eat the middle.
Girl, that's
But
like now laters. I used to like stick it in between my back teeth and then like bite down on it and just like it's
dang, girl,
because now like you can't chew it, right?
you
So I
can't.
used to
That's
just
right.
I used to put the little square in there, put in the back of my jaw, you know what I mean? And I just let it kind of like dissolve
Now you see
in
now
my
don't that
mouth.
sound but look how you said that. Don't that sound like some drugs?
It do
Put that back there, let it dissolve, and I got to get time release doses of sugar,
or
time
some
release
tobacco.
doses.
Remember people used to have the chewing tobacco?
Yep, that's time release
Who did
doses.
some
Like,
art?
being tongue be red for 40 years, girl. I think my tongue just got regular 10 years ago. Girl, all that candy we used to eat was ridiculous. Girl, you know what? I was did eat lemon heads, but I would probably say I probably ate more Boston baked beans than lemon
Oh,
heads.
girl.
I
Yes.
did. I did. But I did like lemon heads too. Uh,
Mhm.
and I used to like those remember those suckers? I forgot what they called, but the suckers, and then they would be different colors around.
Yeah.
Not the ones that's in a circle, because when you can bite it. It was like a chewy taffy on a stick, but it was
Mhm.
different colors and like a square, like a rectangle on the stick, but and you can bite it. It was like I can't remember the name of it. It's like taffy, kinda. But
Okay.
it was
Okay. I
good,
thought you was
whatever.
talking about the ones that look like a unicorn. Little
Yeah,
the
yeah,
unicorn.
I don't no, 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 not those, not those. But I can't remember the name of them, but they was good, whatever they was. I wanna say they was six, but I think Six Licks was those little balls coated
Yeah.
with the chocolate and a little long
They
string of
was
paper, and we pop them
nasty.
out, and just
Them is
pop them all out.
nasty.
Girl, I used to
I
like the Six Licks. They was
I ain't
alright.
like that. I ain't like no black licorice.
Nah,
Mm-mm.
I
I
liked it the red
mm-mm.
licorice. That was the best one. If you gonna eat licorice, it need to be red.
Sometimes, like, but on Halloween, like, I used to sort my candy, like, keep all the chocolate, and then
Of
I would keep
course.
the other candy to bribe my brothers because they was younger than me. So I'd be like, "I give you this licorice if you go iron my clothes."
You is terrible.
That's why I don't know how I learned how to iron as an adult because my brother 5 years younger than me. I used to make him iron all my clothes. He like ironing. I did for him. I
Girl,
was a latchkey kid, so I
I
had
was
to pick him up from after school program and help him with his homework. The least he could do was iron her clothes.
Girl, I was ironing at 7. I got the burns on my leg to prove it, girl. The horror. My sister
Oh my
was like,
god.
"I'm ironing your clothes." And I got burns all over my legs because I was clumsy. I ain't had no business messing around with no iron
Mm.
without an ironing board because we was on the floor. That's why they all over my little legs. But that's
But
all.
how you iron on the floor without getting all the sediments in your clothes from the carpet?
Sediment.
The
Sediment
sediment.
from what? From the floor?
Yeah.
You put a towel.
Oh.
You put a towel on the floor. You ain't ironing on a bare floor, girl. Is
When
you
you
crazy?
in my mind, I saw your pants laying on top of the carpet, and I'm like, "But the carpet got stuff in." Like, you're right.
No, you put a towel down.
And a sheet over it?
No, just
No.
a towel down, and then you put the clothes down, and then you iron. But I was just on the floor because we didn't have an ironing board.
Oh, but see, you see how I don't know how to iron? I can't even imagine.
You only put a sheet over it when it's sensitive materials.
Yeah, cause I do remember my mom having, like, a sheet on the ironing board for some reason. I don't
It
know
probably was
why.
just there so she wouldn't have to go around getting them. Or sometimes if your
No, it was
ironing
flat
board,
out.
yeah, if your ironing board cover was messed up, then people would put sheets on them.
Mm.
But yeah, that's pretty much how that went, girl.
But I
But
was
yeah,
just thinking when you said about, falling and stuff, remember how you knew kids would be outside? Even me, I didn't even really get to play outside all the time. Like I said, I was a latchkey kid, right? My mama always worked. And so after we got back from Germany, girl, I was in the house, okay, and I was helping her raise kids. But anyway, my niece was black. Remember all our niece was like all black and scarred, and your mom be like stuff like you little tomboy, look, your legs is ugly, like they was gonna always be that way. Girl, I ain't even got no scores no more. Well, I do got this
girl.
one.
If I Let me tell you something. It don't matter how many scars you got on your leg, cause guess what? You still gonna get a date. Cause these men don't be caring. They gonna be like, "Oh, I got one right there too. You fell off your bike." It is
The
what it is.
worst
You
pain I
know,
ever had was when my leg got caught. I was riding somebody else was riding me on the bike, right? And my leg got caught in a chain and it sliced like right where my ankle, the back of your ankle. That hurt.
girl,
But did
that's
I go in the
crazy.
house? No, I didn't go in the house.
Exactly.
'Cause this was my chance to be outside.
You be like,
I just pretended. I just didn't look at it. Cause remember, if you don't look at it, it don't hurt. It don't hurt really till you look at it.
girl, he hurt. You just like, I'm ignoring because I ain't trying to go in the house. After I fell off that bike that time and I was busted up from the head to the toe, I went in the house. I was like, this some bull crap. Cause how he ain't hurt. Oh,
Right.
so
I would've
annoying.
been so mad at him. Oh, so that reminds me because you said that because I was thinking I would've been so mad at him, I would've tried to kick him so he could feel the pain. But let me tell you what I did. Girl, graduated high school, right? And I am lit. I'm like, hey, and I'm, bending corners, going too fast. Why did I hit this mailbox? And knocked my side mirror off. And I was like, my God. And this is not a car that was purchased for me. This is a car that I bought. So it was real personal. You know what I mean? Why I get out the car and kick the mailbox and hurt my damn toe?
That's what you get.
The
That's what you
mailbox
get.
acts like metal or something. Ugh.
That's what you get. But y- there was the times. A time was
Mhm.
had.
There was
I just
family.
I remember, wearing banana clips in my hair
Girl.
and wearing jellies and little
Mhm.
rompers and stuff. I mean, a time was had and scars. Scars
Mhm.
are just a telltale sign that you had a good childhood. When you can look at a scar and be like, "Oh, I remember when that happened. Remember we was outside running and then, climbing trees and all kind of
Mhm.
stuff." I was most definitely like a little tomboy. I wanted to do everything the girls and the boys was doing. I'm like, I want to do everything. I want to play chili, chili, bang, bang. I want to do all of that, and I want to play baseball and climb the trees and build a go karts and get on the skateboard and be out here talking some jig,
Jig, jig. Hello.
yeah, all
I
of it.
remember that.
The other day, it's so crazy because I swear to God, the other day, I was sitting here, kept singing. I kept saying, like, my back is aching, my bra too tight, right? And I
My
was
boots
like,
shake from
what,
left to
right,
right.
and I couldn't remember the name of it, and I kept saying gigolo. I'm like, but that's not gigolo. And then I finally remembered it was boomerang. It was boom, meringue, boom, boom, meringue, boom, meringue, boom, boom, meringue. Like my back is aching, my brow too tight, my booty shaped from the left to the
From
right,
left
to
to
the
right.
left, to the right, to the left, right, left. Girl, we was some fast kids, girl. We was singing all kind of
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
that Chili Chili Bang Bang wasn't no, but all that stuff was crazy. And you know what? When I was younger, gigolo. So you know, gigolo, gigolo. Um, it changed.
Mhm.
I don't know when it changed, but when my little cousin was singing it, it changed because at some point at the end of it, she said, "And down my pants, nobody knows." And I was like,
Ooh.
"Wait a
Okay.
minute, because we didn't never say that."
Yeah.
You'd be like, "And this the way I gigolo," and then everybody's supposed to be like, "And this the way she gigolo," and you do your little thing.
Right, and you do your
But
little
she was
thing.
like, "And down my pants, nobody knows," and this the way I gigolo. I said, "Girl, it changed. It
Okay, a
changed
little
somewhere in
fast,
the it
a
changed in
little
the
fast.
90s, girl. It changed." I was like, "Ooh, this song didn't change. It didn't change." And you know what song I think the first thing I ever learned was the tell it, tell it, tell it, tell it like it is. Remember that? You ain't never heard tell it? My
But
name is
I
Vee,
think that
tell it,
those
tell it.
songs was kinda like, it depend on where you was at.
Probably, probably. Most definitely geographical. I mean, Chicago
Region.
is
Mhm.
yeah, Chicago's most definitely hood rich, so we probably had all kind of foolery, but Talent was a good one. I used to love me some Talent. And Hollywood Not Swinging. You know that one? Hollywood Not Swinging, Hollywood Not
But
Really?
you also have to remember,
Wow.
I wasn't surrounded by kids. I was, like, at home reading books, and so I remember, like,
I went to
girl,
library every day.
okay, remember Beverly Cleary?
I Girl, remember Judy Blume? All them Judy Girl, we was the Judy Blume generation. Girl, all of that. I read all of those. I read all of that Heritage Spy. I read all of that Goosebumps. All them books.
Mhm.
All them books got read. And I
Uh,
still was outside singing Hollywood Not Swinging.
wasn't nobody outside. I told you I lived in the suburbs
Well,
and,
yeah,
surrounded by
everybody was outside
old
in the city.
people. Old people with dogs.
Yeah, people put their kids out in the city. They was like, y'all got to get out of here. We was outside, making up games, living our best lives. Girl, I was playing Truth, Dare, Double Dare, Promise, or Repeat when I was like 7 with
Wait, say that
18-year-olds.
again?
Truth, Dare, Double Dare, Promise, or Repeat. You ain't never heard? Yeah, girl, we was playing that with 18-year-olds, girl. We was
First
like
of
7.
all, okay, so kids, you keep mentioning these 18-year-olds playing with kids, right? Why did we think when we was like 15, 16 that it was the move to have a boyfriend that was over 20? What is wrong with him?
I
I
mean,
mean, for
I didn't think
me,
that.
like my first little boyfriend was like 21 and I was 16, right?
Okay.
And I was like, "Well, I'm just mature for my age," and that's the perspective I had there. But, okay, sit on the other side of the table. What in the world is a 21-year-old doing with a 16-year-old? Sir,
Yeah,
something's wrong with you.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and I just girl, look, I had some 30-year-old. What was he? What did he was a journalist in Chicago. He was probably 25. He might have not been 30, but at the time I was like 16 and he was really trying to holler at me. And I'm like, I think you're kinda a little
Hmm,
bit too old, girl. And then
that's a
he
little
told us,
pedophile.
and I think I because I cover up. Like I've always covered up, like boom, from neck down, covered, whatever. Didn't wear tight clothes, whatever. And he he decided to mention how endowed he was.
Oh,
Like I was supposed to be impressed, scared me playing away. I was
I
like,
know they did.
what the heck? And even now at this big age, I wouldn't be impressed. Cause I'm like, what they got to
Mm.
do with anything?
One thing I have never asked for was a dick pic.
I
I
don't need
just don't.
those things are voluntary on the man's behalf. Cause I most definitely don't need it and don't want you to send it. Cause first of
Please
all,
don't send it.
I don't want a whole bunch of penises in my phone.
I don't. And in my cloud, so now it's in my cloud, sir.
Just good, like, bruh, it's not that serious, you know, whatever you got, and whatever you got is really and penises don't even look great, so you not
I was
even
just thinking
enticing me.
that. You know what? The best part of a man's body is before you get to the penis. It's like his if he has like a chiseled jaw line, right? And his chest is broad and maybe his stomach is just like, so all this is like fit. He got a fit body. He ain't even got to be super muscle because I don't really like that.
And
But he
but
just got a fit body. And then like down to the D'Angelo little
right,
curve. That's it. I don't wanna see nothing else. And I used to be at the TV like this, trying to see
right, trying
down
to look down.
when he was
But
like,
it's so
"How
crazy because
does it feel,
when we
man?"
was younger, we weren't even trying to see naked. You know what I'm saying?
No.
We just like, "Oh, he
Mm-mm.
cute." That's it. He cute.
Mhm.
That was pretty much it. Nobody wasn't even caring
Mhm.
about how you looked in your shirt off when you was 15. Nobody
No.
didn't care.
First
Like,
of
"Oh,
all,
he
you
took
had
his shirt off." Ain't
a bird chest when
no,
you was 15.
right. Know nothing about nothing. You know, when you was young, you was just like, "Oh, he's so cute," and that was the end of the conversation.
Yeah, he held my hand. He gave me this.
Right.
Mm.
That was that.
Remember the notes? We used to pass the notes.
Well, I didn't pass no notes, but yes, I remember people used to pass notes. Do you like this one?
And you
Yes,
fold them
no,
up like
maybe.
footballs, and you, like,
Yeah.
fold them up real, real tight so you know somebody opened your note before it got to who you wanted it to go to. It don't even have to be to a dude, it could be to your friend, and y'all don't have the same class. No,
Y'all,
you
y'all
don't do that.
science. Y'all got science. Y'all got it down by science.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
And then the boys used to fold the paper and they make paper footballs and they pluck them
They did.
across the room. So the girls, we started doing a little something like that. Like if I wanted to get my note from the back of the classroom to the front, I might fold it like a football, which was
And
really just a paper that was folded thick, so it had some weight on it in a triangle so that you could flick it and it would actually, you know.
yeah, I was in school learning. Okay, I was in school learning, not doing any of that. So
Okay.
that's must be nice. That's all I'm gonna say. I wasn't flicking no pieces of paper.
Yeah. Well, that's just one thing that we did. Okay, did y'all used to play the little
Yes,
uh
yes. That
I
I
don't know
don't know
what
what
it's
it's
called.
called. The
Fortune
fortune teller.
teller.
Fortune teller. Yep.
Yes.
We used to play that.
Or
We did.
mash. Did y'all used to play mash?
What's
Where it was
mash?
like it was like what was the M? I can't remember, but it was like it was, so all of the letters MASH stood for something. And it was like, if are you gonna be married? Are you
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
I don't remember what it stood for, but
S was
yeah.
probably single. That's where it always landed on me. Maybe H was happy.
Remember, but it told your whole little
Maybe
life like, oh, you gonna have twins, and you gonna marry a millionaire, you gonna live in a
right, it did.
mansion, you
I remember.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, we had
Maybe
imaginations back then. We used to have to do
maybe the
things
A
to
was for
ourselves.
affluent.
Oh, what?
Was for affluent.
My God.
Like rich, affluent people.
Oh, she said high fluent.
No,
No.
affluent,
Affluent.
AFF.
Oh, so the A. Okay, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought you said the H. Like,
Nah,
mm-mm.
he was, girl.
I need to know what it stood for now. I need to know. Imma let you know in a minute what
Yeah,
it's
I don't know, girl. I can't I don't remember all that stuff. Like I don't even really I remember the stuff that was the most fun and the most um impactful on my childhood, right? Like
mhm.
jumping rope, racing up and down the street, wearing jelly skip it.
Yeah.
Everybody just skip it, skip.
First of all, skipping was a dangerous toy because you could hit your foot on that and it really was hard and it hurt so bad. And them jellies was dangerous too because they would melt on your feet when it was too
I
hot.
mean, a
But
time was
they was
having them
super
jellies,
cute.
girl. And they was
They were
only like
super
a
cute.
dollar. They were so cheap. You could have like 100 pair.
You
You
can every
know,
color.
th-
I had every color. Mhm.
those was some cute little and they went with everything because they was clear. So you could wear
Yeah,
them with like everything. So it,
everything.
it worked out. And barrettes, remember barrettes? Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes,
Them,
and the little balls that you put in
but
your
yeah,
hair.
the baba. We used to call them baba. Baba.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yep.
the boys
Oh,
used to be
remember the
outside playing.
banana clip? The
Yeah.
where you make you have like a mohawk? Or the butterfly clip that you would put the butterfly and it would just like make the wings in your hair. You put like right there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cute.
The boys would play. freeze football, well, Chicago's freeze football, and then touch football and tag football, and then they would come mess up our jump rope. And
Mhm,
I hung out with my brother and his friends sometimes. So, I got to endure. I got to experience,
mhm.
run around the neighborhood like a boy sometimes. It was fine
Yeah.
with me. Um, as we got older, obviously we didn't hang out as much anymore. But life was
So
life.
okay, so my friend, remember I told you that I was on the, I fell off my bike and I said, "Peanut," he stopped his bike or whatever. It was a boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
figured that.
so
Ain't no girl.
I do know a girl named Peanut. That was
Why?
her family because she had a peanut head. That was her family nickname. But
Okay.
Peanut, his name was really Mark, and we were, army brats. So we was living in Frankfurt, Germany, right? And so the good thing about Germany is they have like all seasons, right? So in between, so they didn't, so in between our apartments it would be these hills, and the hills would have dandelions. I don't know, now they get rid of the dandelions and they would have dandelions, right? So when the dandelions be out there, that brings the bees. So it'll be a whole lot of bees during the summertime, spring, summertime. So one of our games was we would go out there and stomp the bees. Now, keep in mind, I'm 7, so I didn't know better, you know what I mean? Got stung by a bee, though. So we would stomp the bees, and then another thing we would do is it was this little creek, and it was very, very shallow, right? But when it rained, they didn't really have real good drainage, and so the water would build up, and that would make the snails come out and little salamanders. So Peanut tried to keep a little salamander and end up killing it because I don't remember what he did. I don't think he knew what to feed it, but he tried to keep it. And then another thing we used to do is we would pour salt on the snails and watch them shiver. So I'm just saying that when I was a little kid, we made our own fun, but now it seems a little gruesome.
Y'all was yeah, cause we didn't do none of that. I mean, we didn't stop that we didn't even like bees, cause I got stung by a bee right between my finger, girl. It hurt so bad, and I was like 7 at
Ooh,
the time. And
ooh.
I was like, "I don't like bees. We ain't mess with no bees, girl. We will run away from bees. But you
Mm,
out here thumping bees. But it's nice that you ain't never been stung. That's nice. And
I
but y'all
know.
was mean torturing snails and salamanders. I mean, that
Well,
ain't
first of all,
right.
I was playing with a boy, so I was doing boy stuff,
But
and,
but y'all just torturing that polar snail.
yeah, then when Captain Planet remember Captain Planet?
Yes, he's our hero.
So
Gonna take
after
pollution
that,
out to
I started
zero.
being more conscious of what I was doing because
I
I
would
was a
hope.
planeteer. I was a planeteer, I had the water
Right.
kit
You
and
can be one
everything.
too. Because helping on our planet is a thing. Looting and polluting is not. I
Yeah,
still remember that thing on Captain Planet song, girl. But you know what? It's so funny
Captain
because
Planet,
I
he's
saw on
the
internet.
hero.
You remember Miss Frizzle? Remember the
Yes. Oh,
yes,
that was
the
my
Magic
show,
School
the
Bus.
Magic School
They
Bus.
say that all them kids from Miss Frizzle grew up to be the Planeteers.
That
I was
makes a
like,
lot of sense.
wow, because
You
they
know
look just
what?
alike. They look just like
They
those little kids.
do. They
I was like,
do,
look at
and
that.
you
But
know what? It was diverse then because it was a little Asian kid on there, a little
yeah,
redhead, little ginger on there. Mhm.
they
He
say
was
they
a
grew
little
up to be
little
that.
black boy. Look at that. We
Yeah.
always had a little bit of diversity. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. The Magic School Bus was the show though, boy, because she was here all she was
Girl.
like, "We gonna be salamander eggs today. We gonna be bubbles.
Yes.
We going inside the human body." And I was
Yes,
like,
that
"Wait
was
a
my
minute,
favorite
man."
episode, the human body, when the little
I
boy was sick. Remember he was
I
sick at
know,
home and
but
they
we
went in
need
his
to figure
mouth?
out what's
No, they
going
went up
on
his
with little
nose.
Johnny.
I think they went up his
Girl,
nose.
that was hilarious. That was a good show, though.
That
That
was a good
one.
show.
The Planeteers was good too.
Yeah.
You have the I don't know.
The
It was
power
hilarious.
is yours. See, look at
Yes,
them
that's what he
empowering us.
said.
We didn't even
Yep,
know.
yep. The power is yours. That's what he said. Yep.
So I found
Good.
it. So MASH stood for mansion, apartment, shack, house.
Okay, okay, okay.
But it says you also would pick categories about who'd you marry, what car you drive, how many kids you have, and stuff like that. And so remember, you just have to say how many numbers you wanted
Right, and
on the
then that's what he
thing,
ended
and
up.
then
It was
that was
kinda like fortune teller.
That's exactly what it is, fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well,
kinda like
the
that, but it
other
was a
fortune
written
teller
game.
just had numbers and colors. And then
Mm,
you pick whatever you pick, then that's it, you ask other questions. And then they be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and what color and all that stuff. It just depends on what question you ask. But yeah,
yeah.
it was different variations of that. But yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, yeah. It
Mhm.
should say mansion, apartment, shack, hut.
No, a house.
I know, but hut.
A shack is a hut, right? A hut is a shack.
Not necessarily. You can have a nice hut, but I don't know about no nice shacks.
You can have a nice hut.
Yeah, you have a
Who
like a
got a
yurt.
nice hut?
You know what's a fancy hut? A yurt. A yurt is a fancy hut. Remember I showed you them yurts?
No.
Them yurts was yurts.
Share with our listeners what a yurt is.
It's nice.
Spell yurt.
Why?
Thank you.
Look at the fancy ones. They
You
nice.
did say that you read the dictionary.
If that ain't got nothing to do with it,
Yes, it
that's
do, because I have never, ever. That's just like that word
yeah.
you said when we was playing that game where you said one word and you said a word and we all was looking at you like
Girl, I don't know, cause what I said masticate. Mastication.
first of all, we playing a game where you on our team saying masticate. You should have said a 4 to 7 letter word.
Girl,
Not no damn masticate.
fault. Look, everybody on our team that went to college. I'm like, I know y'all know what mastication is. Y'all gonna be
Girl,
outside in the streets getting food.
girl, first of
Y'all
all,
got it. Look.
we also went to school when they told us, "No, you need to show your work. You act like you're gonna walk around with a calculator in your pocket
And
and
look at
do."
us walking around with
So I could, if I wasn't playing that game, I could have looked up what masticate mean. I would be like, "Spell it," and I could have looked it right on up.
girl, I be trying to look. But it's hard like playing games with my brother because
I saw that game that we were playing that drink game
what drink
with
game?
the 3 bottles, and you trying to get them all the same way. That we were playing with your brother. You had the 3 water bottles. One of them flipped the wrong way. How you gonna
Oh
flip?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
I
Cause
saw a
I'm
girl
like,
do
you
that.
was y'all was playing with cups.
Oh, well, she was playing with bottles when I saw it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I remember the horror."
The
But
horror
I
had
eventually
y'all
got it
mind
right.
twisted.
It took me a long time, but I eventually got it right. I was the person who got it right, remember?
Had
So,
y'all mind twisted. That's you can't play with my brother. He
yeah,
be trying to fool people every rip. That's why every time he say something, you gotta listen to every word separately and together. Because otherwise you won't he like, that ain't what I said. I'm like, ugh, so annoying. Anywho. So
yeah.
back to throwback and so you remember
Oh,
back in the 90s when everybody used to wear like cross colors and them Jodeci boots. Somebody stole my Jodeci boots. They would put the band-aid on 'em. Did y'all do that?
the Band-Aid on the boots?
Yeah, because they supposed to look like them Jodeci boots.
I remember Jodeci. I do, but I don't remember specifically the boots.
Yeah.
But I used to love Jodeci because at the time I thought that I think I think it was KC was like the lead singer, and I was just like, he's singing to me, y'all. He's singing to me. You
Forever my
know?
lady. Ooh,
Yeah. That's when they used to sing to us, make us feel like we was just everything. And now they work very hard to try to disempower us. But yeah, I used to love those
yeah.
songs. All the boy groups. So you had After 7,
Mm-hmm.
Jodeci, you
True. Spread
uh
my wings
Immature.
and fly
I was
away.
in love with that's when light skin was in for me. I used to love Romeo.
Yep, immature was
From
good constantly.
I
Think
think
about
about
you
you
all the
all
time,
the time.
constantly. That
Yes.
they was jamming back in the day, girl.
Well, I'm just my
Remember,
words.
remember,
Ooh, give me back.
Keisha, you were the girl that I never had, and I
Mhm.
like to get to know
To
you
know
better.
the
Hey,
dance around, we used to I used
girl, I
that's
used
when you
to
dance with your whole body.
ABC, CBD, East Coast family. Hey. Yep.
So that reminds me of the house parties where
House
I
party.
was a kid and always the oldest. So I had everybody was in my room messing up my stuff, and they parents downstairs have playing cards, playing dominoes, drinking beer, and we used to have to be upstairs and stay in a child place. Now kids don't know what a child place is.
Girl, we would be outside.
Well,
Phew.
we couldn't be
We them
outside
kids
at
look,
night.
girl, we was. Girl, we ain't outside going like midnight. Like we had no supervision, girl. No supervision. So kids got to stay outside in the hood late. Like now I will say this. Some kids did have to go in the house when the street lights came on. That was a
Mhm.
thing. However, I didn't have supervision as a child, so and me and my brother got picked up for curfew a couple times, girl, 'cause we was outside
Wow.
way
What
they
type
used
of
to have them
curfew?
commercials, "Do you know your children are?" But we ain't had no parents, so nobody cared. They just was like, "Oh, click, turn the channel," because we was outside in the street.
You
Um
are silly.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, your parents would, the adults would be having these little kickback parties, and they'd be drinking all the drinks and smoking all the smokes and whatever else they was doing. And girl, we probably was upstairs watching Jason or something.
So I was so it was this is the 90s, so, I was like 10, 12, or something like that. And so they would pull out all my old Barbies and all that stuff, and then I used to have to fight them to clean it up at the end of the night because you done came up here and destroyed some stuff, and you think, "I'm about to clean up after you." Oh, you got me twisted. And then, like, right after that no, I think before that, I was already babysitting, so I also was making money during these parties. I
Well, there you
saw a
go.
post online, and the lady was like, "Is a 13 and a 11-year-old too young to stay home by themselves for an hour?" And,
No,
I was looking at that like, my face was all scrunched and sideways like, "Girl, first of all, I already had my own little daycare by the time I was 12. What is
hours and days is 6 and 7 and 8 and 9.
Yes, girl. I already
No,
had I already was cooking at 8 years old,
girl,
making
but you
meals
know
and
what?
stuff.
Things have just changed. Everybody just thinks stuff is so dangerous. But I think a lot of it is the parents, like those parents are the parents like us, our generation that grew up to be parents. And I guess they feel a little traumatized from their childhood. So they're like, "Oh no, he's so young. Let him be a child." But also, I also feel like, you taking away their opportunity to get a sense of independence, right?
Yeah,
To be able to take care of themselves and all of that stuff. Because now something happens in the house, they're like, "I don't know what to do." Whole house up in flames, and they
right,
looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even think to call 911. Like, like,
right.
meanwhile, our generation, we was in the kitchen cooking, cleaning, burning the rice, all of the things, you know what I'm saying? Outside, being able to take care of ourselves, call people, don't answer the door, in the house by yourself, all of the things. But these kids nowadays be like, just
They
clueless,
right,
right?
right,
Because you're trying to keep them a child for way too long.
and I agree with that because the good thing about us being able to burn the chicken, or one time I put water in the spaghetti because I saw my mom do it, but actually she was just trying to get the rest of the spaghetti sauce out. So she put like this much water in the spaghetti, but I put a whole jar of water in the spaghetti. She was like, "Why does it taste like this?" But I'm saying this to say that I was able to make mistakes at home where the consequences weren't so great. But now you having these kids, they first job is when they outside of the house. Like, so now they're like, "What do you mean bills? What do you mean I have to go every day? What do you mean?" How, like, the one person was like, "So who puts the money on the card so that I can swipe it?"
Girl.
But so for me, that seems like a stupid question, right? Because you know that your paycheck replenishes the money that's on your card. But if you never had a paycheck, but you always had a card and you could swipe it constantly, even the babies be in the store and they be handing the baby still in the mama arm, baby like, "I want to swipe it." You know what I mean? But they don't understand how the money got you know what I mean? Like, you skipped a whole portion of development.
Yeah, cause all the
And don't
money
be
we
laughing at
had
me
was
about my spaghetti, girl, we just made some more.
right. All the money we had was cash, so, like I
Mhm,
said, we knew how to count money early, like, we was 3 counting money, like, we knew how
mhm,
many pennies and quarters and dimes and nickels was in a dollar. Like, we
mhm.
already knew, and, like, kids nowadays, 6, 7, don't even can't even count money, and I'm like, "How
Right.
you gonna go to the store?" But they're not thinking about it that way, they taking plastic, they taking a card, they
They're
swipe it,
taking a
and they
card.
just assuming there's enough money on there, you know?
Right.
But you
Because
still
it's
need to know
always
how to
enough
count
money on
money
there.
so you can subtract what you had from what you spent and figure out how much you got left. But you still need to know. But they
But
don't really know.
exactly, but what your lesson was, "Oh, I spent 50 cents on this pickle, now I can't get me a Chico stick," right? That's a small lesson. Now these young adults are out here like, "I bought, I went to the club and I, blew all my money. Now I can't pay my bills." You see what I'm saying? You see how it's the same lesson, but it's at a different scale. So I feel like when it comes to that, our generation was better prepared for the world.
Yeah, because we had all because all of our money was in our hands. And we was
Mm,
like, oh, I can't buy all the things I want because I only got $5. I could
mhm,
buy. And then you be like, "Ooh, but I wanna save some money for tomorrow. So I'm
mhm,
just gonna buy A, B, C, and D, E, F can wait." But they don't see the money. All they see is a
mhm.
card. They don't see that they only got $150 in their account. They're not looking at it. A lot of people don't
Right,
even like balance a checkbook now anymore. None of that stuff really happens. Nobody's really taking account and really even thinking about, okay, well, I do got $4,000 in here, but I ain't paid rent yet. I ain't paid my car
right,
note yet. I ain't paid insurance yet. I ain't did 6, 7 things yet. So I might only got really $400 left. Maybe I shouldn't buy
right,
this $800 pair of shoes and just $500 fur coat or whatever. But they'll go buy all of the things and they're like, crap. I thought I had $5,000. No, you really only had 12 left after all your
right.
bills, sir. But they don't think about it like that. That's why a lot of people are in a lot of credit card debt because
Yeah,
they out here just buying, 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 not thinking like, oh, I got to pay it back at some point, or you're gonna have bad credit or whatever. But anyway,
mhm.
so yes, the '90s was great. All of the slow jams. And I'm from Chicago, so we jammed to R. Kelly. I know people don't like him no more, but he had some jams, girl.
I just feel like so
Things like
when it
you're
came
ready.
to R. Kelly and when it comes to Chris Brown and whoever else that has been quote unquote canceled, you might as well cancel everybody.
Chris
Because
Brown was
nobody's
canceled for
hands
5
is
minutes.
clean. Nobody's hands is clean. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand that that's music that we grew up on, and so people are saying, "Oh, well, don't put money in his pocket." But how you gonna pick and choose where the money go? The money is going to somebody who has done
Look at them
something
Epstein
wrong.
files. Everybody was at
Right.
Epstein Island, so
Right. So, just
it
live
is
your
what
life the way
it is.
you want to. If you
Girl,
wanna, listen to R. Kelly, listen to R. Kelly.
but them songs was a jam, okay? Well play, just a little, well play. Them
Yeah,
songs
my
was
only
jam.
issue with that initially, him specifically, is I thought that those were adult songs, but he really was singing about kids, and that was my
So
problem. That was my
so
problem with it. But hold
he
on,
in one of his in the song,
time
he
at the
did
same time,
say
a lot of our songs that we grew up on, we were kids singing adult songs.
right. We were. And he did say in the song, "Show me some ID
Now we're
before
not
I
about to
get in."
justify
He
his
did. Now
behavior.
I'm not justifying anything. We all Everybody in Chicago knew what that fool was doing. We all knew. It wasn't no secret. That's why every time people be like, 16 and I knew, right? We were all like, why would them girls do that? That don't make no sense. How you 14? Your parents don't know you gone for the weekend getting peed on, whatever. Like we knew like it wasn't a secret in Chicago. He used to hang out, whatever. But even before then, like before it became all out, before it was like a thing on the news and all of that before that. When he was making the song, seems like like those songs had already attached to a memory in your life. So it's too
Yeah,
late. It's too late. So and I don't know none of his new stuff, but I know all his old stuff. So it's too late. Like once it become like even like the Cosby Show, right? I grew up watching the Cosby Show. I'm
right.
not
Me
gonna
too.
stop watching the Cosby Show because he in jail for whatever he did 50 years ago, because so much of my life it is rooted in the Cosby Show. Like when those clips come on, or if I catch it somewhere, I'll be like, oh, and I still be laughing like I ain't never seen it, cracking up, like, oh, they was crazy, they was so crazy. It is what it is. You can't restructure and uproot your whole life just because somebody did something wrong at one time, right? Now, you don't have to necessarily support them going forward. I'm not saying I'm going to no R. Kelly concerts or nothing. I'm not saying all that. But I can't just erase all of the memories from me jamming to that song, when I was 12, 13, whatever, you know, you just can't erase that. I believe
Yeah,
it's a fly. People still be singing that.
I agree with what you're saying.
You can't erase.
However, it's just gonna be on a case by case individual basis. You are from Chicago where it was accepted. It was known. It was just what it was, right? So y'all made peace with that before,
Well,
So
nobody really
when
made
some of us, hold on, when some of us found out about it, we were appalled. You know what I mean?
oh,
And
oh,
and
we
then, and
was
then
a
and then I found out about it as an adult in this generation where we're more sensitive to things that we accepted as normal in previous generations. That's just like movies that did not age well, like Scary Movie, the first Scary Movie, White Chicks. You can't say that stuff now. You can't do that stuff now. You know what I mean?
I mean, I
So
get it.
at the time when you were 15, 16, and you knew what he was doing, guess what they also was doing? They was calling girls fast, and they still do that, but they was calling us fast and everything was your fault, and they had the nasty uncles, and it was your fault because you wore this, and we was also in an environment, what happens in your house stays in your house, and everybody got trauma and blah blah blah, and we
Oh,
was just
testing.
everything was buried. So finding out about it then versus finding out about it in this socially conscious world that we're trying to live in now is totally different.
Oh, now we were still appalled. We were still like, "What? No, wait. Why would they do that?" It wasn't like it wasn't a thing. And people were all on the radio talking about it. Like it was, and I don't know if it was this widespread. It was most definitely happening in Chicago, right? We were all like, "No, wait, what?" It was a shock. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing. Nobody was like, okay, whatever. Nobody was like that because the whole time I'm like, well, why the parents ain't know who their kids was, and they know he hanging out the high school. Why they let him hanging out at the high school? Like it was like I was just so many questions, right? But at the same time, the stuff that happened prior to that, like all of my memories, I can't erase my memories, because he did the food. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, you know, I don't condone. I am not like brushing it under the rug. He did what he did. He know he did. And all the people who worked with him know what he did. All them adults who condoned and watched it close the door and all that, they knew exactly what he was doing. And they let the foolery go on for how many years.
Yeah, and I mean,
You know,
that's just
I mean, I don't
one
know. That's just
example
crazy. And
of
that's one
something
example,
that
but it
happens
happens
all
all the
day, every
time.
day.
It
Right.
happens every day. A lot of men out here closing doors, and another adult somewhere knows about it. Me personally, I'm not closing the door on no 5-year-old. I'm like, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute, 911. Wait a minute. This ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. Now
Right,
I'm telling. Now, even if I might
right.
not call 911 at that, I'm telling somebody getting told. Because first of all, I ain't keeping that many secrets. And I ain't keeping no secrets like that. I'm like, That girl was real sad looking when she came up out of there. I think something like something ain't right. Like, why
Right,
would you not tell? Like, but people was like so getting so much money and they was keeping quiet and whatever. They had their little agreements and whatever, but ain't enough NDA in the world for me
right.
not to tell on something like that.
Because first of all, you gotta sleep at night, and you gotta deal with you. You gotta deal with you.
You gotta be able to look your own self in the mirror like, "Oh my god, how could I let all that happen with 40, 50, 60 people," or whatever the case may have been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't the but, like I said, it was just even outside of that, okay, we're gonna put that to the side, that whole thing. R. Kelly is such a staple in Chicago. It was like he was to Chicago like T.I. is to Atlanta. Like if T.I. just upped and was like gone, we were like, "Woo!"
Imma tell you right now, Imma tell you right now, if T.I. did half the shit that R. Kelly did, he would be out there too, okay? I love a T.I.,
I'm
you know what I mean?
sure.
But see, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and that's and so
Oh, and he
the issue is that when people make something normal, you
oh,
just, gravitate to accepting it, but wrong is wrong is wrong is wrong, and
oh,
nasty
it's
is
all right.
nasty, you know what I mean?
It's
And so we can try to justify it however
not
we choose
justifying it.
to, but it shouldn't be
What
justified,
I'm
you know what I
saying
mean? Girls
is
should be protected, boys should be protected,
Oh, yes.
you
But what I'm
know?
saying is people would have that same reaction here. People would still be like in their minds, like, oh my God, we can't listen to T.I. no more. Wait a minute, what happened? So it would be the same thing, right? So I'm just saying for somebody who grew up and was raised and a lot of their music was just a part of the culture, right? And then
Mhm,
all of a sudden it's taken away. You're like, wait, what happened? Wait, what you mean we can't listen to it no more? It will be the same thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
mhm.
people shouldn't get punished. I'm not saying, that man really should be making no more money. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying give him money. That's not what I'm saying. If I had an old CD and I played a song, he ain't get no more money for me replaying that song on that CD
Right,
because
but it's
the
more
CD
so like
already bought.
when you
Right.
stream it, you
Right.
know what I
Singing is
mean?
different. That's different. But and honestly, you can't make if I'm not mistaken, well, I guess it depends on how you get prosecuted, but I think you can't make money while you're in jail. Um, it's something like you can't benefit from your crimes or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how they did it, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is the reaction would still be the same. Like, because it was like what they call them.
A pedophile.
No, no, that's not. But I'm just saying the reaction would be the same. Not that people wouldn't be like, "Oh no, we can't support him no more." It's a lot of people, that have, if not everybody, but most definitely a lot of people. All from on my feed, I get a lot of Chicago stuff, and a lot of people always be like, "Oh, we cannot. No, ain't nobody playing R. Kelly over here." People don't even listen to him anymore. I don't even really listen to him anymore. But if seems like you ready, come on. Because
But
it's
okay, but
tied
see, I
to a
used to
memory.
love that song. That was my favorite
It
song.
was tied to
But
the memory.
but when you hear the lyrics, "Seems like you ready." You
Yeah,
talking to a child. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but you know what's
I
so
can't
funny about
unhear that. I can't unhear it anymore. Now,
it's
I
so
just think you like,
funny.
"Happy People." That was a great song, right? He's not necessarily singing that to a child, you know what I mean? It's, the Chocolate Factory album, it's some songs on there, some hits, some great ones, you know what I'm saying? He not singing that to a child, but age ain't nothing but a number. Yeah, he wrote that to a child. You see what I'm saying? Like,
You
I love it,
you know he
but
married Aaliyah when she was 15.
look, I can't. I can't.
All I know is all I know is a time was had when it
He
was
he
had,
was not the only
but he
person
most
that
definitely was
needed
not
to
the
be
only one
prosecuted.
because it's
'Cause
a
her
whole
parents
all them people who
what's her
worked for
name?
him.
The singer who sold her from the video, sold her niece basically so she could sparkle,
But
all them,
it's a whole lot of
the
people who
whole
should have went to
entourage,
jail. But even
all of them,
outside,
half of
even
Chicago.
But even outside of that, right? Even outside of that, it's so many people, like even with this whole Diddy thing, right? People like, "Oh, no, I wasn't at the mansion, was I?" Like everybody had their face in Hollywood, right? Epstein files come out. Everybody, "Oh my God, I went to the island. Wait, no, wait." You know what I'm saying? Everybody is out here doing whatever they're doing, whether in secret or out in the open or
Mhm.
however they're doing it. And then it comes out, then the rest of us, the non-famous, non-powerful, non-political, non-money having people, we're all like, no, because now it's like our whole lives are ruined, right? We're like, oh, we can't watch that no more. Crap, we can't listen to this no more. Oh no, so you might as well just listen to Jesus music. Okay, so now you just listen to gospel. Then you found out the gospel people having sex with all the wives in the church and doing all, you be like, well,
Half the
what you gonna do?
kids.
You just on your own out here in these streets. It ain't nothing else.
Okay,
You gotta
you
make
right.
your own
You
music.
are right, but
You gotta
that's
make your
just
own music.
like I shared a meme with my cousin, and it was a meme of a famous white actor, right? And the only reason I shared it is because he said it was just a meme of him with the saying that I wanted to portray in our text conversation. And he said, "You still support him? You know he racist." And here I go, ain't they all? Like,
I mean,
so
I
I
mean, at this
understand what
point,
you're saying, but
everybody
I'm just not
is.
gonna stand in it and be like, "Ooh, I don't give what
I'm not
y'all
10
doing. I'm
toes
about to play
down
this
in it. Like
song."
I'm not finna be like, nah, y'all ain't gonna talk about it. Girl, not at all. It's not like that for me. I don't want anybody to misconstrue that I'm like, whatever he did, I don't care. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the memory I have tied to this one or two songs from way back when, because only about two.
Okay, so you keep saying that song. Tell us what your memory is because so that
I
it
don't
can
even
replace the
know.
memory
But
that
for
I
some
have.
reason, I don't even know what it is. I don't remember what the memory is but when I hear it, I just be like, I don't even know what the memory is. It's just like when I hear Constantly and all of them other songs. And there is no specific memory. It was just a time in life when those things were joyful, right? Like
Oh
whatever
my
age
god.
I was, this was the early night. Like I'm older than you, so I was already 14.
Girl, you're 22.
Right. But I wasn't 10 in 94, right? I was already a teenager. So I'm a
Okay,
little
yeah, I was
older.
10.
I'm a little older. So I experienced it before you experienced it. And by the time you
Yeah,
experienced it, it was already out. It was already out. But I already experienced it. So I already had
yeah.
my little, I was like, oh yeah. I already had my memory in my
Y'all already did
mind.
the electric slide to it and everything.
Like, it was already going. It's just like, before I let you go, before I let you go. I had boyfriend at first, love that song to death. Every time it come on,
Mhm.
it's just a memory that
Girl.
is there, that is in my mind. It was just a time, it was an experience, it was a feeling, it was emotion, it was everything that was happening and everything
Mhm.
that wasn't happening all at the same time, right? It's not nothing specific. I just it was happening before, even before it became out. Like I didn't really know about it until I was probably like 16. Yeah,
So
about
yeah.
16. So,
So
but
it
that
was
song was
yeah.
already made. That song was already,
Yeah.
like a lot of, like, so you at the time when I was 16, you were like what, 12, 13, 14, something like that. So you were already, you were finding out right when you were discovering the music, right? And
Mm.
also, as you said before, we also tend to listen to music, adult music, when we're younger. I was listening to all kind of adult music when I was 8 and 9.
Girl.
Yeah,
Girl,
what
let me
they saying?
tell
Singing.
you.
I was out here singing, Clarence Carter, ooh, stroke it, at like 7, 8. I didn't know what stroking was.
Mhm.
Just singing it
Well,
like, ooh.
see, okay, so that song, I know that song because it was on a commercial on BET, and they was advertising them Now CDs. He was like, "I've been stroking, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been doing, stroking to the east." Oh, anyway, but what I was gonna say is I understand the nostalgia that you're saying because, and then
Yes,
like
that's,
later on as an adult, you like,
yeah,
because
because
my mom used to always sing Whitney Houston's "Saving All My Love." And so the reason why that song meant so much to me is because the joy it brought on her face. It was just me and my mom at that time. I ain't had to take care of nobody. I was the most I was the priority, I was just a very happy child with, my little tea table and all that stuff, because I've always been like a princess, and I had my own castle at the time. So anyway, just seeing my that's what I remember when I hear that song. It wasn't until I was older that I realized that Whitney Houston is singing about somebody else's man,
Like,
and it's still a great song, but she really was a lot of her songs is about being another woman.
if we go back and listen to the words to a lot of stuff, we wouldn't listen to nothing.
Girl.
Because I have listened to, so I was like, did they say that? So it's this one song, I ain't gonna say the name of the song, but it was a current song, like in the late 2000s, in the 2000s. And it came out, girl, they used to be my song, girl. I was like, yeah,
Mhm,
my friend Preeta was like, you know what they saying. And I was
mhm.
like, no, I don't know what they saying. I just knew the chorus, but I didn't know what they were saying in the song. And she was like, Venus, I was like, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. And she told me what they were saying, and I ain't listened to it yet. I ain't listened to it since.
Yeah.
Like, ever since then, I don't even really jam to it no more. It just blew me back. It blew me all the way back because I was just so distraught by the words, like what they were
Yes.
actually saying. And so it was so nasty. I was like, oh my God, I know what I thought they were talking about. And what they were talking about wasn't necessarily wholesome all the way, but it wasn't
Mhm,
nasty like,
mhm.
like what she said. And I was like, what? And it ruined it. It
Yeah.
ruined the song. And every time it come on, I turn the stage. I can't even really listen to it no more. It was my jam though. It was like the nicest beat. I was like,
So
entertainment.
that's another thing, like, they was packaged
It's
so
hard.
pretty, so, like, it's this one song, "How Many Drinks?" He said, "How many drinks will it take you to go home with me?" Right? But when you hear the song, the beat got you going, and they got, like, this person singing like a soprano in the background, and you not even realizing that he trying to get this girl drunk so he can take her home and take advantage of
But
her.
then at some point in the song, didn't he say, let me know, because if not, he can move on or something?
Yeah, so he don't
So
even care about her.
but he's saying that if it's gonna take too many drinks, then never mind. I'll find somebody else. That's what he
Right,
said.
right.
Yeah.
And
I
so
mean,
basically,
but
what's your price?
a lot of right, like, a lot of these songs, if you start really listening to the words, like that song "Throat Baby." So at first, I didn't know what they were saying, and then I
That's
found
a
out
good one
what
too.
it was, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Why are
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
Why is this a thing?" And everybody's just like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of the words to a lot of these songs is not it. And then, but see, if you even go back to the 80s and 90s, a lot of those words and to them
Girl,
songs was not it
girl,
either. Cause
girl.
if you go, like, even if you go back and look, listen and look, a lot of that R. Kelly, not R. Kelly, I'm sorry, Kelly Price stuff was about her sleeping with somebody else's husband,
Yeah,
or
but look,
somebody sleeping
even
with
that
her husband, a best friend cheating.
push it. Girl,
Push it
first of
good.
all I remember of that song was dancing,
That's
doing
all
it,
everybody remember. And then you
but
get the words
I
and you looking crazy. You'll be like, "Wait a
was
minute."
saying
I knew it was so crazy because 'cause you're right. Because all I knew of that whole song was push it high, push it real
uh-huh,
good,
push
don't
it good.
stop. Nobody
You
knew
right.
them words. The only words of the songs that people knew from Salt and Pepper was "What a Man" and probably "Let's Talk About Sex." That's it. The rest of them songs, nobody
Mhm.
knew them words. He was just like, "Hey," and that's it.
Ooh, baby, baby. I mean, it was you. Yeah. Mhm. You right. You right.
It's
So
nobody the words, like all of the words. So even like the "Seems Like You Ready" song, right? You
stop
we didn't
it. You
really
are every time you say that, it's like you scratching the
we didn't
chalkboard.
necessarily really know the words, but even if you take out the words, take out all the words of the song and all you hear and it seems like you're ready, that could really be construed for an adult too. Because what if you are both grown and y'all been dating for a while and he like, hey, seems like you're ready. It could still be. It's only when you listen to the words that you be like, oh crap, that ain't it's only when, right? I'm
But
saying it
even
could be construed.
still, it also is coercion.
And none of us was really listening to the words. The only
Yeah.
words that I knew of songs back then was for rap songs, like Tupac. And now I can say that and Snoop Doggy Dogg, Lottie Dottie, We Like to Party. I didn't learn slow songs. I learned rap songs. Even ABC and all them, I only knew the chorus. Like
Mhm.
Aisha and constantly. And I might have knew some Soul for Real. I might have knew all them lyrics. But
Mm.
it was very rare that I knew a slow
One
song.
song that I refused to sing and everybody loved it, but I felt like, "Oh, that's also, words mean things," is Mary J. "I'm Going Down." No, I'm not.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's very upside right.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
going up.
I don't even think a lot of us, especially a lot of us at a young age, like the adults may have known what they were saying, but we
But
was
girl, do you know
young.
how much we used to sing that song with so much oomph, like we knew what we was going through. We hadn't been through nothing.
We didn't, because we was referencing it from that movie. We
Yeah.
was like, oh no, he did cheat on her, and he was his
Uh,
secretary for 11 years. You know,
yes, girl. Right.
right. You know, it was we was
I'll listen
feeling
to
her
it, but I ain't
pain, you
singing
know
it.
what I'm saying? So, a lot of things, like I said, a lot of things are just rooted in memory and emotions
Yeah.
and feelings at the time, and then a lot of times, especially when you young, as we say, we be singing songs and don't even know what they be saying in the song.
Mhm.
You know, I can't tell you the words to any R. Kelly song back to forward, not one of them, but I might
Mhm.
know the chorus. And then I'll be like, "That's it." But now I did learn rap songs though, like Crucial Conflict and all that. I learned all the rap. The rap songs, I them the songs that I knew. Now I could probably tell you what they said, but I
Mhm.
can't tell you what these slow songs says. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even really. I knew the
Because it
chorus.
was more about the melody. It was.
Exactly. It was the beat. It was the beat that was like, ah, just like that one song that was my nice little jam. It was like, yeah. And then I found out it was about some.
Mhm.
I can't even say it on air, but it was about
Mhm.
some stuff. And I was just so
Girl, it's a lot
heartbroken.
of songs
And I
about
was so mad. And,
stuff.
and Prince the one broke my heart. She broke my heart when she told me the words. Cause she saw me having too much fun when the song came on. And she saw me having too much fun. And then she told me the words
Yeah.
of the thing.
That's
And
why
I
I
didn't
don't
listen to it no
really
more.
I mean, to speak on that point, I don't really like when they be on the internet trying to, like, decipher, like, our Disney movies and stuff,
Oh,
and they
they
be
just
like,
turned two movies
I
out.
hate it because that's my childhood you destroying. So, like, the one today that was, like, Finding Nemo. Nemo actually means nobody, and so they talking about how he was going through the stages of depression. There never was a Nemo, and I'm like, and then he gaslighted Dory because there was
You know,
nobody to find.
a lot of those movies, when they started breaking them down, and when you young, all you see is princess and
Yeah.
prince and fairies, and then when you get older, all you see is this so crazy. This was so lame. I was so crazy. And then when you people start really breaking it down, you like, crap, that's what happened. See
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
what they say about Ariel, you gave up your legs to be a part of your legs and your voice to be a part of his world. You
And he
gave up
don't even know
everything.
what you look like.
Yeah, like, it was just a lot, right?
He
And,
didn't even recognize you.
it's a lot. Like, I feel like our childhood most definitely got ruined. Like
Yeah.
like, our youth, it got ruined because between the music and everybody coming out as whatever they came out as and got discovered or whatever, and then them breaking down all of our little cartoons. Our childhood ain't even you be like, yeah, what was y'all doing? We was just living in a
Mhm.
dream. We was living
Yeah. That's why
in
they
the
say
dream
we
world.
don't age because we so traumatized from everything that we have experienced as far as the
If we was
world
living in the
ending
dream.
over and over and over again, all the catastrophes that we have survived supposedly quote unquote through. Like we can't we are our emotions are stifled. you know
Yeah, I mean, we
And
just
like it's just so my cousin said today, she sent me a meme. She said, "This is not funny, but I laughed." And it was we at war, but I'm still about to catch these flights. Like they was making that's really not funny,
so
but all
our
you could do
gener
was laugh.
our generation is a generation of you what you waiting for? Like, because so much stuff keeps happening and things
Yeah.
are going to keep happening. And you can't really just be like, Imma stay in the house and lock yourself
No.
away. That's
Right.
not really how we are wired, right?
Um,
Then that's why, a lot of people be mad at me when I'm like, "Well, if I die, I die." But you still gotta
yeah.
live your life, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now, of course, don't nobody wanna be laying on the side of the road with their legs blown off. That's not it. But at the same time, I'm also not traveling to Iran, right? Or any war zone, but bombs could really go anywhere. They could really
Correct.
go anywhere. If people really if these countries we way off topic. We supposed to be talking about happy memories in the throwback zone.
We are
But
still talking about
but
our generation.
if people were, really, oh, I'm about this life, it would be people could press all their buttons. Everybody got buttons. Everybody press them, boom, earth gone. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta live your life though. You can't just not live it just because
Mhm.
stuff is going. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be fighting the power and all of that. We most definitely should, but we should also be trying to make sure that we are happy people as best we can be happy people. I was just telling somebody that earlier,
Mm.
but we have to make ourselves as happy as we possibly can be because if you just sit around in sadness, in despair, all of this all the time, it's going to show in your body, in your face, in your life.
Mhm.
You know, you can't just be because the
But I
world is
think
like
our
that.
circumstances and our experiences have shown us that. Like COVID showed us that we sat in the house for 2 years, and what did that really do? We still ended up having to face them fears and go back outside. Nothing went away, we just had to adapt to it, After 9/11, after 2008, where the economy crashed and all that different stuff. Like, we still had to get up and take another step and keep going. And so I think that you can't. So when she said that, I think she thought that I was going to like maybe judge her because she was like, "This ain't funny," but I laughed. Girl, we have to. We have to laugh and we have to keep going. We have to keep our trips and we have to celebrate life and we have to celebrate our milestones in spite of.
In
Because
spite
if we
of.
don't, we never will get to.
And then you're gonna get to and be like, oh, I should have took that trip. I should have did this. I should have did
Mhm.
that. And then you're gonna be mad. And because you didn't
Mm,
do nothing your whole life because
right.
of ABCDFG that was going on over here. So it
Mhm.
is what it is. But you know, life be life, and that's just
Mhm.
how that is. And I want to thank everybody for joining us on this episode. We probably went way too long, y'all. I'm sorry. It's been like 4 hours. We've been on
You is funny.
we've been
This is a I really enjoyed this conversation.
but this was good. This was good. I hope y'all enjoyed the little throwback segment. I know we kind of got a little bit off topic, but that's okay. It was still talking about a generational issue that we all experienced when we were young, when we were in the 90s. 90s happened, and it kind of just seeped into the 2000s and the current time. That's all. So it's all
I would
good.
just say it's generational because they call us what, Zennials, because we
Yes,
have
we're millennials.
experienced both sides. So that's just our
Yeah,
experience. And
we
it's a
live in.
lot of good, it's a lot of joy, but it's a mixed bag.
It's a
Like
mixed bag.
everything.
We most definitely got mixed bag of nuts. You ain't never lied. A whole mixed bag of nuts. That's right. That's what we got. And some of them nuts still got the shell on them. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Like, remember Christmas nuts, and they always had that real hard one that nobody ate. Like, why? I don't even know what type of nut it was. You know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah,
one it was
it
like
might have been a
hard with the
Brazil nut.
dots in it. Oh, that's what it
It might
was.
have been because those are hard to open sometimes. It might have
And
been.
walnuts too.
But we had the walnut crackers. I
We
used to
did
love
have
them
a
walnut stuff.
nutcracker.
I'm like, yeah, because it was like a toy. You get a toy and a snack at the same time. It was great. But anyways. Uh, uh,
Well, it's been
anyway.
real,
All
guys.
right,
We would
guys.
love to get your feedback. Leave comments. Tell us things that you remember about your
Yes.
childhood. Comment
Comment,
on how you used to play MASH and all that stuff or some of them
like,
games or even if
subscribe.
you
I mean,
remember
subscribe.
whatever she was talking about when it came to those what was they called? Hand clap games?
Tell me,
What was
tell me,
that one
bang,
you
bang,
mentioned?
and stuff. Yeah, Miss Mary Met and
Miss
Hollywood
Mary.
Not Swinging and all of that. And slide, slide, slide. Hey, all of
Hey.
Fashion games. Yes, for sure. This was it, I mean, comment, like, subscribe, let us know what you think. Tell us how you feel about the topic today. We would love your feedback. So
Absolutely.